to another spirituality talk show conversation. So today I have with you a beautiful soul that you are going to absolutely love. Her name is Eabeauti Suniday. Suniday. For the past 12 years, she has been a spiritual, sensual healer for love wounds. Her education includes family sexology, relationship therapist, numerology, spiritual guidance, and hypnosis. All of that plus 20 years of self-study and practice in order to help her heal her own trauma. Currently in the process of writing her amazing book, Back to Pure Soul Love, it's how we as men and women connect with each other in order to have a more beautiful and healthy way in our sensual and love life. She is definitely a free spirit, and you will be able to see that just by the conversation. And she's currently driving around the world, searching for her new place to live. Eabeauti, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to the call.
Thank you so much for letting me join you, and thank you for all you people who listen to me. It's gonna be exciting. I'm so happy to share about my big knowledge I have, because it's my passion, it's my everything.
Yeah.
So
where are you actually right now in the world?
right now I am in Italy today, in that moment, and tomorrow I go to Slovenia, and Sunday I go into Croatia, because I was in Croatia last week and I see they are much more interesting in what I do. So I will go back there. So because I could feel there was much more open there for it. And
okay.
So but at the moment I am in a beautiful island in Italy where no one is.
That sounds wonderful. That sounds beautiful.
Mm.
Very nice.
So spiritual and so spiritual and so silent, and I have just focused on myself the last 2 days.
Oh, that's beautiful. So let's talk about precisely your work and what it is that you do. So tell us a little bit about how you even began down this path.
Yeah, I started this path when I was a little bit girl, because I'm coming from Denmark, as you not know. So I'm from Denmark, and I'm born in the capital of Copenhagen. And in Copenhagen, we have a street called Istegade. And this street is a place where there's sex shops, there's hookers, there's everything. And especially when I was born,
Okay.
there was a lot of. Today there's not so, but when I was little, it was very much. So I'm born there into it. So it seems like the universe have bring me into this.
Oh. I think I'm losing you, or I lost you.
Have always growing up with that. And then I was going another way when I was 12 years. I was going into a kitchen and starting working there. But so then I learned a lot of things about men, because it was only men almost in the kitchen. There was some women sometimes, of course, but most of the part was men. So, and in that world, they are crazy. They cannot talk about anything, because men are born with like this hormone. It's a drive in them. Well, we women are not born with that drive. We need to manage to get it inside us.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. So what do you mean the men are born with the drive and women have to work on it?
Yeah, it's men. They are born so much with this hormone in the body, and this hormone is driving them like the brain talking to the penis all the time. Where women are more born with this kind of love in the soul.
Okay.
So that is the big problem.
Okay. So
I know some they going around and pretend they like it, but when you go deep into them, they don't know what pleasure is. They don't know what desire is, and
Right.
So
So let's talk, how is it that you bring the spirituality concept to something as human nature as sexuality? How does the sensualness come about through the spirituality?
then it's come when I was in 2009. I started studying to sexuality, and then my teacher, she have a lover, and he was a tantra teacher. And then I was like, wow, I have looking after that all my life. And when you start going in tantra, that's it's so spiritual because a lot of people don't know, but you have to learn all the steps to go down before you can manage to have any sensual things in tantra. And it's really you have to learn to coming from your brain down to your heart. It's a decision you have to learn first. Then you have to learn to make the breathing, doing yoga, meditation, because you need to connect with all your body
Okay.
and be like flexible and all that. Then you have to learn to not be afraid to look into people's eyes. You have to learn to hug each other heart to heart. Um, you have to learn to talk with each other where you take like your hands, both your hands up and you touch, take the other hand up and you touch here and then you talk 5 minutes to the, like I talk to you 5 minutes, tell you how beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, how much I love you, miss you and all that. All kind, and it's 5 minutes and then the other one do it also. And there it brings like, and then you learn to also to look in each other's eyes without speaking. Most of the things you do, the essential things, it's you have to learn to connect without speaking. So that is the spiritual in it. And then when you have learned all these steps, then you start getting some special touch. And in this touch, you go in and you touch all the trauma in the body. And when some people get it, they broken down, they crying, they some cannot work for weeks and all that because they have never received so much unconditional love. When my best friend, he was get it for in UK. After 8 months, he was first ready, and when he get it, he was crying in 3 hours. He said he has never received so much unconditional love,
Right.
and it changed your soul so much because you're going in, you touch all the trauma, and you more you receive it in your body, um, you more the love going in, and it's a hard work from the person who give it because you need to be so clean when you give it to people. You must not have eat anything who can affect the session. You must not how can you say, you must not have eat anything who can affect, because as soon as some smell coming on our nose, we going up in our brain. And when you receive that, you need to be in your heart all the time. And also I cannot drink a lot of water because when you start the session, you cannot go to the toilet because you cannot broke the session. And the same for the customer, they cannot broke the session too. They need to be in it. And the way it's starting is like first you go into a breathing exercise, then they get a special meditation. I need to, every time I get a client, I download, have to 2 hours doing meditation, yoga, and then I have to download down what is it this person exactly need for which kind of meditation, which kind of music this person need.
Okay.
I have to feel the person and see how they, what is the scar they have it when they come to me. So they go like in a journey. And then sometimes I have people 3 days where I take them on a journey, also where I have bring the hypnose in. First you receive the one day you receive this massage and we do some exercises, and then after some hours we're doing the hypnose from what happened in this touch massage, because we all missing touch in our body. And you more you receive this, you expand, and instead of going like in the world like this, you start seeing the tree, the butterflies, the birds. You start seeing all the signs who are around you. I have received over 150 on myself to be that woman I am today.
Nice. So from my small knowledge in that sense. Um, I remember studying somewhere in one of my studies, touch is very important for all of us. Not only sexual wise, but actual touch. Like, for example, I think there's been a whole bunch of research done on older generations, on the elderly, that just by sitting there and touching their hand and caressing them, their health gets better. As human
Yeah.
beings, we have not only the sense
Yeah,
of
yeah.
belonging, but the sense of touch. And I think really the trauma and the body knows how to heal itself. We just have to learn how to stop getting in the way. But I think with the touch, it's something that can heal so many people, because not a lot of people are actually used to being so lovingly touched.
No, and you touch really every part of the self, like you're going inside the ear, you
Oh,
really touch everything when you receive it. Mhm. So yeah, because it's every part of you, and that's why you're using oil, so you sure you can see where have the body get all this oil and all that. So you sure you get touched
okay.
every
Oh,
part
wow.
of, and it's really like every like it's really like every yeah. I have also working with older people. I have working with dementia a lot, so and I have touched them a lot and give them special food massage, and I could manage them to get better. Um, so and also with dementia, it's because they have disconnect them from the self, because I have find out, have research about it. They have disconnect them from the self because they cannot handle more of these things who have happened in their life. So
Okay.
then they have made themselves like and they
Right.
not have get this touch and love. So
Right.
they have made themselves and they can, but the problem when they disconnect themselves, they cannot express, but the things they tell, if you really listen to what they say, then they've actually when they say, oh, like they cannot find the money because they are hiding them. It's because actually one, they cannot express themselves anymore. So it's actually because someone who have been there some time and have steal the money, so they try keep the money away. Or someone I was working for, she tried to say to me all the time her husband was crazy, and in the end I find out he was crazy. But she could not tell the truth to me,
Oh, wow.
because her brain disconnected from the world.
Okay.
So yeah, so I have worked with all kind of. I also worked with, like, my mom was mania depressive since I was 12.
Okay.
So that's why I have studying that. Touch is so, and no one know how, as you say, like touch and hug, and the way we in this here also, when you're sitting, you sit down and you hug each other heart to heart, and you're just sitting there with each other and just feeling without any words. And then when you start learn to breathe together. So you start connected, like, so the breathing is going in the same rhythm. And if you
Right.
do that also for half hour, 1 hour, it expands your life like crazy.
Did you say for 1 hour?
Yeah, and you longer you can do it, you more. I have tried to do that for 8 hours, where I was sitting with my partner for 8 hours, looking each other's eyes and hug each other. And we was connected in the eyes all the time. We're not talking for 8 hours,
Oh,
and
wow.
you was crying. You was releasing so many things.
That reminds me, oh, wow, about 4 or 5 years ago, I did one of my sacred geometry courses. And one of the exercises that we did was actually looking at each other in the eyes without speaking. And I can't imagine doing it for 8 hours, because we did it for 15 minutes, maybe at the beginning. And it's intense because, one, you're not used to looking at people in the eyes fixed. Like, there's some people that kind of look at you in the eyes, but to be fixed right on the eyes, for me, and I'll just say my experience, I had an issue of being seen, of being visible. To feel
Yes.
that I was being seen to the degree that this person was looking at me, I felt uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie, it was very uncomfortable.
Mm.
Then
No.
later, the second time we practiced
I
it,
know that for everyone.
okay, I'm not crazy then. The second
No.
the second time we did it, I remember it was longer, like a longer period, and it was with a different person. And I could just, after I got done with the uncomfortable, because I still felt a little bit uncomfortable when I started, but it shifted really quick. And then you just feel love, like unconditional love coming from the person's soul, not from the person that was in front of you, but from their soul. You could actually feel that. I mean, I can totally see how that would be healing in a session like that.
So much. And also when you do it, oh, I get like goosebumps now. Also when you do it, you gonna see your own mirror. So you mirror each other. And I can also tell you a story. People also falling in love with each other. And when I see it first time was when I studying sexuality.
Okay.
We have in the class where we should do it, because we were so lucky our teacher have a lover who was tantra teacher. So we have a whole weekend with that. And then we should do this eye exercise. And we have a couple in our class, but they should not do it together. So the husband, he was doing with another woman in my class, and his wife was doing with another. They falling in love with each other. So it's also dangerous because they end up getting mad because he falling in love with her, but he was married and he won.
Wait, let me stop you for a minute. I'm gonna have to edit this part out. You froze for a moment and then I couldn't understand what it said. So
Okay.
I'll cut this part out later and I'll add the rest. Can you start again with the exercise?
Okay. Yeah. So they was doing this eyes exercise. We should do it 1 hour, and they was like married, but they must not do it together. And after 1 hour, this couple, this this girl and this man, they falling in love with each other. So after the husband, he was get crazy because he loved his wife, but now he also loves this woman.
Oh, wow.
And it end up like a nightmare in our class, like really like, because it end up like crazy because so it's also, and then I was like, wow, can it really happen? And then for 3 years after, I was in Sweden to a workshop, because we call it love party. We're doing that around in Denmark a lot and in Sweden. And then I was doing with a guy, and we also falling in love, and he was also in a relationship, but I could, because I know how to broke this, I could stop it. But if you not know how to stop it, it's a problem if people are in a relationship to do it with another person.
Right.
Because as you say, you start to feel this love from each other.
And I think that
So
love,
and then someone
sorry,
yeah.
and
No.
the delay also. And that love that I think we feel is from our soul. Like that's why it feels so powerful, because it really is from the soul.
And that's the problem today. People are so disconnected from each other. People don't know to be in a relationship, or to be also a relationship with yourself. It's a work, like you're going to work, but the relationship and you have to be the more priority. But people today, the work is more priority.
Yeah.
So the problem is people focus more on the work, but if you make your relationship and yourself as a priority, then all the other things will be so beautiful in your life.
Right.
Because you're more because the more you connected with each other in a relationship and with your own body and soul, then everything around you will feel it. And can you imagine if we all
Yes.
are that, then we all will meet each other in love and harmony, and not have any like judgment to each other or shame to each other.
Yeah. And
I have also got
that would be a beautiful world. And that's what hopefully we will experience one day.
that's my book. That is my purpose with my book. And right now, this week, I really go in, like I say, of my book. What is this? And I want to get a relationship with money to myself and like money. Because for me, when I was this 3 months, I have never learned. For me, in my world, where I'm coming from, my planet, or where I'm coming from, I have never learned about have money, or money was not exist. Because like in the Persian time, like we was where I coming from, we was just exchange. Like if you working with someone, we just exchange, or if I want to give you a hug and then I get some pretzel to my car, or
Right. Right. No,
so
that's absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna have to start wrapping it up. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I think the main purpose is letting people know that sex isn't just sex. And a lot of people
no, and also but also people have to learn sex is coming from porno. It's something porno have make up, where we have to learn to have a sensual life where we know the beautiness of connection with each other. That's a really important things, because people use this word sex.
right.
Hmm?
Right. And it's
And it's
actually it's the sensual part, like you said, not only with the partner, but with yourself.
no,
Like,
but
right,
also with yourself. Yeah.
right,
One of
right,
the chapter in my book is about how you as a woman and how you as a man gonna be like sensual with yourself.
right. Yeah.
Mm?
I think it's something that, spiritually speaking, it's not something a lot of spiritual people talk about. And I congratulate you, because it is a
Thank
topic
you.
that it's not that it's hard to talk about, but not as many people are open about it. And the
No,
truth of the matter is, when we look at it as a sensual and a spiritual connection, and actually can feel that connection, we can not only better ourselves and better everything, our relationships, but better the world. If everybody really was
yeah,
so loving, we would live in such a different world, and it would be beautiful.
so much. Like I get goosebumps. Yeah, and the business will grow, and like everything. I know it's a big mission, and I know it's a big work, because as you say, no one, everyone is afraid to speak about it. I just was to a party in London before I moved from London, and then I was talking about it. And first, after that, people started, oh. So how we can do this and how can we do that?
Right.
So
And
and a lot of people only think there is a breast and a penis and a vagina, but there is a whole body.
right.
We can
So
we can have pleasure here. We can have pleasure here.
so we're doing these conversations. Obviously, we're doing this one in English, but I also have some in Spanish. And one of the
Mm.
shows I have in Spanish, this was more or less the topic about it. And the way she said a phrase that I absolutely loved. And it was something to the fact of, if we could all learn to have such a connection with ourselves and with our body, to live orgasmically in everything we do, to be able to taste and enjoy the food, the touch, the look of somebody, the being with somebody, just in the actual connection. That is what we should be living at, as an orgasmic, energetic, pleasurable life. And we're not even talking about intercourse. We're not even talking about anything of that. But it's really connecting to
No,
that.
no, and they're not even talk about it. And then even not talk about it in school.
Yeah.
We should learn the children that. That is my next mission, my book. And then my next mission is the school, because I want the children to learn to be the masculine and feminine children they was born to be. So we're not be gonna be this primitive children who growing up from primitive their parents. And she's so right, because and also just be with our friends. I have some friends like that, and we give each other food, we hug each other. But in the beginning, they was like, but when we start, they're like, oh, when can we meet again? When can we?
Right. Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us today. When people want to reach out to you, I'm going to put the description below with the video. But when people want to reach out to you, what is the best way for them to reach you?
They can reach me on all my social media, WhatsApp, Telegram, email. I have everything on my website. So in my website, there's all like apps, or what you call them. You can push my YouTube channel. You can see my YouTube. You can comment there. Everywhere you can get in contact with me. I have everything. And I'm so lucky. I'm the only one in the world who have this beautiful name, Eabeauti Suniday. So
no, that's beautiful.
And, you know,
perfect. Thank you. And I'll be sure to put it on the link below. But again, thank you so much. And honestly, I mean, I thank you for what you're doing, because I think it's definitely needed. So with that said, before I wrap up, you're obviously in Europe. Ever think of coming and doing that in the States?
Yeah, everywhere.
Okay, so we are definitely.
I gotta do it also in the Arabic culture. I already do it. I gotta do it everywhere.
So we are definitely gonna stay connected. Everybody's definitely gonna start following you, because whether people want to admit it or not, it's nature. It's that nature inside, that curiosity, that inner belonging, that inner wanting.
Yeah, but also a lot of people, they live together, but they are alone in the relationship.
Yeah.
They're not happy in the relationship. They have a relationship, but they are completely alone in the relationship.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of
people are alone, and there's so many single. Like in my country, we are 6 million. There's 2 million single. So.
Oh wow.
But also I can. But when I travel around the world, when I see a couple, I can see they are together, but they're not healthy together. You know.
Yeah, because everything is tabooed and conservative, and so yeah. Well, again, honey, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for listening, and thank you deep from my heart, and take care
and have fun in Italy. Thank you, everybody.
I go to Slovenia tomorrow.
Nice.
And then I go to Croatia, because Croatia is much more open. So
sounds like
yes.
All right.
Yes. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye.